The Ministry of Commerce, Enterprise and Small Business Development has partnered with the World Bank to launch a micro and small enterprise emergency grant for small businesses in Dominica. On Wednesday, January 10th, the ministry held an official press briefing to inform the general public that application forms are available for those interested. The Honorable Minister for Commerce, Enterprise and Small Business Development, Rosalind Paul, says the grant falls in line with the Prime Minister's pledge to provide support to small businesses post-Hurricane Maria.
Very early, the Prime Minister of Dominica made the pronouncement that there will be grant support for enterprises in Dominica, especially micro and small businesses. And there has been support already for private sector businesses, the larger companies. Through the Aid Bank, you wouldn't have known that we had an agreement signed, an amendment to the facilities at the Aid Bank so that private sector or the larger companies that have been affected can have access to the necessary resources. And so today we are here to launch a second part of support to the private sector, and particularly, as I said, micro and small businesses.
Approximately 1,500 small and micro businesses will receive assistance, with the World Bank making available $3 million to the ministry. Honorable Paul noted that this support is one that is much anticipated by business owners who have sustained the loss.
The reality is that small businesses in Dominica have been greatly affected. And every day we get the requests, the inquiries as to what kind of support or when are they going to get, when are small businesses going to get the needed support so that they can recover from the losses, loss of livelihoods, even loss of jobs, and loss of provision of services. So it affects not only the small business owners, but the people who would require the services from these small businesses.
The Honorable Minister urged business owners to apply for the assistance, which will total $5,376 per business.
Over the next 2 weeks, from today until the 24th, we will be inviting people to apply. You must have suffered loss from Maria for you to apply. And you have until, as I said, the 24th to make sure that you apply. We will be reaching out to all communities via the village councils so that people can have access to the application forms. We will also be launching our public relations, public awareness to ensure that people are well informed and that everybody that has been affected, everybody who has a small business that has been affected and meets the requirement can have access to the grant, can have access to the application form. So it's not going to just be in Roseau, but we're going to make sure that we reach out to all the communities around Dominica, the rural communities and around Roseau. The forms will also be available at the ministry as well.
Meantime, the Permanent Secretary in the ministry, Esther Thomas, expounded on the various sectors of businesses which the ministry is seeking to assist.
We are targeting 1,500 micro and small businesses within 4 specific sectors. And as she said, retail, trade and services, we are targeting 700 people. And for retail, trade and services, we are looking at art and craft producers, landscapers, retail shops, barbers, hairdressers, manicure and pedicure practitioners, vendors involved in retail trade. For food and beverage, we are targeting 350, and we are looking at persons in restaurants and bakers. For manufacturing and agro-processors, we are targeting 300, and we are looking at chainsaw and producers of lumber, charcoal producers, honey producers, furniture makers, and other light manufacturing and agro-processing. For construction, we are looking at persons involved in construction, bricks and mortar, mechanics, electricians, and plumbers.
The application process for the emergency grant is open from the 10th to the 24th of January, and disbursement of funds is expected by late January to early February 2018. For GIS News, Kadisha Sentley.